Thank you, Heavenly Father, for another gift of life. Thank you for our good health and for safe travel for all of those that are here, and we ask blessings upon those who are ill, and also our military personnel. And we wish the best to those that are leaving the council and also to those that are joining us. We pray for good decision making, and we thank you for our Cherokee people that we are honored to help. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Sheller, would you do the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Curtis Snell.
Here.
Frankie Hargis.
Present.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Joe Bird. Julia Coates. Jody Fishinghawk. Here. Janelle Fulbright. Present. Ron Garvin. Tanya Corey Jordan.
Present.
Lee Keener. Dick Lay.
Here.
Denise Taylor. Here. David Thornton. Victoria Vesquez. David Walkenstick. Kara Callan Watts. John Masters. We do have a quorum.
Need approval of the, yes,
If I could, maybe have leeway to amend the agenda, motion to amend,
okay.
resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Information Technology Department to donate surplus office equipment to the Moffett Police Department of Sequoia County.
And do we need that on the,
If we could put that on as the last of new business.
do we discuss this? When
I
we
second.
vote on it?
I second.
All in favor? You second? All in favor of this resolution?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Did you second hers?
And we want to go to full council tonight.
Or we can discuss it.
Okay. We got it on the agenda, we'll do it later.
Okay, moving on down. Did we get approval of the minutes? We did.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on down to reports, Bruce Davis.
Okay, Chief.
Are you
Good
playing
afternoon
music?
again. I know you have our report. Answer any questions you might have. I'd like to brag on our holiday sign. You'll notice what's in the middle. GV drew us a buffalo, not really, but the artwork is good, so.
I can't see good from here. Is the buffalo coming backward or what? You brought it back.
I think it's looking right at you, Kurt.
All right. Any questions for Bruce?
Yeah, Mr. Chair,
Yes, all right.
what, are you gonna report or on this, on our building up here?
No. You need a report on that
Well,
bill?
I'm just wondering about the leak we had.
I have David Moore right here behind me. He'll do that for you.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
David, you want to come up, answer Harley's question?
They have to take the edge away for the framing, and then they lap over visqueen, but we got rid of the visqueen because they were tearing it.
Yeah.
Now we got that white that you see around there, it's TPO, it's a lot thicker rubber, and they pull it back, do the work, and lay it back over. And what it was, that rain was coming down between the brick and stuff, and then getting in. That one caught them by surprise. They had some areas opened up, and I don't think they expected that much rain that quick that day.
We get any major damage along our wall?
No, and then we'll, when we get the top on, we'll come in and check all this stuff out too, and make sure that they're good and dry, and if not, we'll cut them out and fix them.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any more questions for Bruce? Moving on down to real estate services, Ms. Ginger Brown Reeves.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You have my report. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to address them.
Any questions for Ginger? Good,
Thank you.
good report, lady.
Thank you.
Moving on down to the environmental program, Tom Elkins.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Tom?
Oh, we have our report, and I guess the only thing I could add to it is that this year, like for the last few years, we're gonna be doing the fishing thing at the pond at the holiday. I've been participating in it for 2 or 3 years, and kind of do the MC, and I play music and do all the announcements, but if you have time to go by there, the bad thing is with the holiday, we have so much going on, you just can't do everything. But I'll tell you, if you want to enjoy something like that with young kids, that fishing derby is really one of them. They eat that up. I saw a little girl last year, I think she caught the same catfish 5 times in 5 minutes, but she really enjoyed that, and I think everybody enjoys seeing that. Jason Christie's working with us, and his sponsors donated 300 new fishing poles and a bunch of other equipment. Seeing Cherokee Nation entities or entertainment works with us to give prizes, and then through some of the monies we get for the holiday, we get other prizes for those kids, and various entities have donated for things on that, and it's a great time, and I really enjoy it, so I'm gonna be doing that again, and most of our folks are gonna be doing that, but one way or the other, they're just almost probably 90-some% of them volunteer in one way or another at the holiday, and so we all pretty much have a good time. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer anything.
Yes, Denise.
Do you have all the families for that asthma study?
I don't think we do. We got most of them. I think there's, this off the cuff, because I'm not completely sure. I think there's 5 or 6 schools, and I don't think they have all the families on that. I'm not sure, though. But I think they're getting very close. We're in it with the Navajo, it's in with Tulsa University, GU, but it's also, they're working with the Navajos and one other tribe, but it's really a good thing. Do you know the background with that?
Not really.
There's a lot of childhood triggers for asthma, and they think there might be a disproportionate amount of those with Indian children being raised up like with burning wood and things like that. So what they're doing, they're going through, and certain amounts of the families get stuff to help clean their house, and like HEPA filters on their vacuum and a few other things. And then they have a control group that during that same time are not going to get anything, and then they'll compare those statistically, and then at the end of it, the control group will get all the things that the other folks got too. But it really looks like it's going to be a really good study, and if you got any questions about it, I can certainly get any answers back to you.
I'll just shoot you an email.
Okay.
Thank you, that's all.
Yes, Kara.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Tom, on that study, are they doing the genetic marker testing for the, I guess, maybe not markers, but the alteration of the genes due to pollution for those kids?
I don't think so. I can check, and if it is, I can get back with you and send you an
That would be
email.
good. I don't remember that being in the article.
I don't think it is.
What's coming out, especially down in Texas. I
Oh, really?
On studies, so,
For,
that there's alteration of the genes due to environmental factors.
oh, really? Okay. I've never heard that, but yeah, I'll certainly check into
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Smith?
Councilman Broderick.
Yep, Tom, last month I brought up the fact about our freeboard at the landfill. I see Jamie and Van here today to maybe see if we can get a handle on it or see what we're gonna be doing to try to get back into where we should be.
Right.
Have we had any discussions on it, that's what we might do?
Well, I know they're working on it. Since this report was written, it's about the same, I guess. But in fact, it was a little bit less freeboard. I was out there last week, and I think it was about 7 inches. But they're spraying it. Well, you can ask them that, certainly. But they're spraying it out to evaporate it. They're pumping it, and they've got equipment issues and things. I know that. mean, you could ask them specifically, I know they'd have more knowledge of that, but I do know that they've had issues with it, but they are working on it, certainly.
Can I, Jamie, what are you gonna be doing with that freeboard? Try to get it back in there.
Well, we're doing, like Tom just said, we're spraying for transport operations to speed that up. We have, we're bringing another truck online to, that we can go in between that, to help, because each one of our tanker trucks hauls 5,000 gallons. We just had a turbo go out, and just 30 minutes before we come to the meeting, it's got 40 miles on it, and the bearings failed on it, so it went right back out again. So it's just, well, it's a pain. But we're gonna get that truck going. I'll be leaving here, going to Arkansas, picking up the part and getting it going again. We should have that truck going tomorrow, so we'll be able to, with each 2 loads, we'll be hauling 10,000 gallons of pump out, and we should be able to get 6 to 7 loads per truck. That'll help us out a lot, and, you know, of course, no rain will help tremendously.
So if you get a couple loads out, it'll bring your freeboard back up to,
No, just a couple
No,
of
it's gonna,
loads.
it's gonna take quite a few. We
Oh,
could
is it?
probably, I think it's about 18 loads per inch. Yeah, it's a lot. Pond's huge, part of it. Pond is,
Yeah, I
and,
know.
the way it's made, you know, it comes up like this,
Yeah.
so the further you get to the top, the larger volume, yeah.
Plus, we've, actually Jamie, I asked him to call the city of Stillwell to see if they would allow us to bring our water, more hours during the day. So they've allowed us to start going 5 o'clock in the morning till 5 in the evening. So we're trying to think of all kinds of ways that we can take care of that issue. When you get 10 1/8 inches of rain, is that what it was in July? In July alone? In May, it was more than that. It's affected everyone. It's just not our landfill. It affected the city of Stillwell with their sewage treatment system. It's affected everyone in our region that got that amount of rain.
well, I just, my concern, Fan, is if you need some help, come to us. Don't let it go too far and get out of control, so,
We need help.
you know, we'll do what we can, you know, I don't know what we can do with that.
We need help.
What's that?
We, you know, we were dealt a hand.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with that hand the best we can. We are in discussions with the administration about what we need and what have you, so it's not that we're not asking. We just haven't been before you all, but we are asking.
Well, just keep us informed. If something I can do to help, let me know too.
Got a pumper truck?
You just have one pumper truck or two?
Actually, well, we just have one, but Jamie and one of the other guys out there retrofitted, what I would call retrofitted, another truck we had there that we were using for something else. So, you know how you sometimes have to use duct tape because nothing else will work? That, we're using duct tape.
Gorilla duct tape.
Yeah.
That's the better kind.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just let us know. We certainly want to keep the landfill going, you know, that concerned me, you know, to make sure that you guys have some help out there when you need it.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for coming today.
Any more questions for Tom? Tom, good report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on down to old business, I see none. Moving down to new business. Tanya, you want to take 064?
Yes, this is a resolution authorizing the acceptance of land in trust in its Oaks Mission School. And I believe we still have Ginger here to help us answer questions, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the sponsor.
There may be others that might want to be
Would anybody else like to be added as a sponsor on this resolution? Anybody that don't want to be at?
I'd like to ask a question or two first.
Okay, you can have the first question.
Appreciate it, Mr. Chairman. And is this ready to go into trust with us, or is this just the process starting?
No, this is ready. I mentioned at the last meeting a couple of weeks ago that there was one that had we were able to obtain trust to trust, this is the one. Yes.
Then yes, I'd like to be added as a sponsor.
So everybody, yes, I was adding you as a sponsor.
Well, you may, but I have a question also. Now, this is the old school at Rocky Ford.
At Rocky Ford,
But is it called the Oaks Mission School? I've never heard it called that.
That's the appropriate name for it. I think they call it a community building or
It's
old
called,
community
yeah,
building.
Rocky Ford Community, no, there's another Rocky Ford Community Building.
But
I'm
what
not
is the
sure
old
what it's
Rocky
called.
Ford School?
It's called the old school.
It's the
now.
Rocky Ford School. Oaks
Right.
Mission School is at Oaks.
Right, yeah.
The GSA has it down as the way it's listed here accordingly.
Okay, but it is not the Oaks Mission School.
It's not the
It's
Oaks
old
Mission
Rocky-
School.
It's the old
It's
Rocky
the
Ford
5
School.
acres with that.
But it's the Rocky
Uh-huh.
Ford School is what it is. So if that makes a difference, then
Probably what happened, the schools consolidated to Oaks Mission when it shut down. That's my guess.
although this is in Cherokee County, the Oaks Mission School is in Delaware County, that makes a difference.
Well, I mean, it's like Bellefonte Bell. But one's in Adair County, the other one's in Sequoia County.
Okay.
This is how, I'm sorry, this is how GSA has it listed, and that's why we had to list it this way. But I think we're all, do you know, Harley, what it was otherwise known as?
No, all I've ever known is Rocky Ford. I didn't know it was called Oaks Mission School, but probably, Curtis, do you know the history on it, Curtis?
I just always knew it as Rocky Ford School, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
and I agree that that's what it was. And on the school districts, if you look in the school district maps, it's Rocky Ford School.
And we may have named it Rocky Ford because that's how we named it when we were dealing with the GSA situation previously.
I mean, you may have named it Oaks Mission,
Or, no, Rocky Ford.
okay, because it should be Rocky Ford.
Right,
Not Oaks Mission.
exactly. That's how we know it as. But it is the one in Cherokee County. It is the 5 acres on the property that is described on the second page of the resolution.
But should we delete Oaks Mission School from the
Probably,
resolution?
well, my suggestion would be not to, since the BIA has it listed as this. And we could do an AKA as, however we wanted to.
Well, we have Rocky Ford in parentheses.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Council Lady Watts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm glad thankful for the discussion because I was thoroughly confused as well. So I would suggest that we keep the GSA or government title, but we also added in the resolution that there's a reference to it's commonly referred to as in the community or something. I think that's what I'm hearing. Is that?
Although it
Because
has-
otherwise, if a constituent, a citizen picks it up and goes and queries for it, they're gonna be thoroughly confused. And this, what is the intended use after it's put into trust too? We can come back to wording. Is this just, we're getting it from the government, right?
Yes.
Accepting it? So we're not gonna make it a community building or an office site that we know of right now?
I do not know that at this time, but that might be a Bruce question. You know, Bruce, was there an intent in that?
Because initially, when I thought it was the Oak School, which I couldn't figure out why I missed this, but I was like, we don't have any direction about intended use in there. If it's for a group, we need to kind of, I think, reference it in the resolution so they know the intent.
It's not for a group.
Okay.
It was the Rocky Ford Elementary School, Jack. At one time, it was my understanding that after the school was disbanded or consolidated with Oaks, that property was given to the Oaks Public School from the Cherokee Nation. Then the school didn't want to have to maintain it, so it was my understanding that they gave it back to the Cherokee Nation. That's what I was told. So that might be the issue here. Now, the buildings are they're in ruins, they need to be demolished, tore down, because they are a safety hazard. The property is right there across the road from the park. It is a good location, but the buildings aren't fit to use.
do we need to document, can I still have the floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and thank you for working through this. Do we need to document kind of the path it took? Didn't that need to be documented in the resolution, or does it
I just think
matter?
we need to specify it as Rocky Ford School, you know, put it in the documentation as.
Commonly
Rocky Ford.
referred to
Yeah, yeah.
as,
Yeah, and I think that would settle it.
And the sign's still there,
The legal description.
Rocky Ford School. It's on the building.
or formerly known as,
That would work. I think what Ginger's saying, probably leave it as the Old Commission, Princess Rocky Ford, and if it identified, and I think it's by.
will that mess the government part up?
It's identified exactly the way we have it on here, with the government.
So, but if we add in the resolution, also known as, or formerly known as, or commonly known as, is that gonna create problems for you?
It wouldn't for us. We'll do whatever you wish to do. This is how they have it, Oaks Mission School, Rocky Ford, in parentheses.
Well, I would think it'd be just better leave it like it is.
Don't we need some indication if somebody looks this up, what happened?
I'd make a motion, we just put formerly Rocky Ford in front of that. Put formerly Rocky Ford School.
Second,
No, do we discuss now?
Yes.
I'm for leaving it exactly as we have in this motion so that we don't have a problem when we go from trust to trust. So I'll be voting no on that motion.
I'm with the speaker as well. I mean, if the government's got it labeled as this way, I don't want to run into any legal issues because the wording is wrong on it. If the federal government has it listed word for word as this, what this property is, I think we need to leave it as is, regardless if there's confusion or not. It's gonna, we're legally binded to this wording. So I'll be voting no as well. Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. As far as the government is concerned, this is almost like a legal description, I think. Would you agree with that?
This is the legal the description is on the first page of the resolution.
So you almost gotta leave it like it is. The tribe or the folks who live there will know what it's been referred to all down through history, but the government's the government.
Yes, sir.
And I think, did we put, is this how they have it, Oaks Mission and Princess Rocky Ford?
Yes, that's why we have it that way,
That's right.
yes. Mhm.
That's how it come out of the federal government.
That's how they're wanting to give it to us in
Oh, I see.
trust.
Okay.
Therefore, we probably should take it exactly like that in
Well, this is
title.
their resolution that you come, we didn't type this up. Okay.
We typed it up, but when they offered this to us, this is how they offered it to us. That's the name that they have it in the books.
I don't really have a problem with it. I just think, you know, they're telling us what to do and how to do it. And I say let's just put formerly Rocky Ford in front of it. I wouldn't see whether they'd have a problem with it, but
Let's just vote.
my feeling on things. I mean, they told us what to do for the last 150 years, and why can't we put a word in there and say we want formerly Rocky Ford? So, anyway, that's my motion. I had a second.
So you're making a motion to,
Need a motion and a second. There's a motion and a second on the floor to amend it and add formerly Rocky Ford.
so you, okay, you want to add Rocky Ford to
Yeah,
it?
just formerly. No, it's
Formerly.
already got Rocky, just put formerly Rocky Ford.
Formerly, okay. And that's your motion? Does everybody understand what we're voting on? All in favor of adding formerly Rocky Ford?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Everybody have roll call. Yes is for formerly Rocky Ford, and no is to leave it like it is. Okay, roll call.
Jody Fishinghawk?
Jody, you awake?
Janelle Fulbright,
No.
John Garvin,
Yes.
Frankie Hargis,
No.
China Gloria Jordan,
No.
Lee Keener,
Yes.
Dick Lay,
No.
Curtis Snell,
No.
Janice Taylor,
No.
David Thornton,
Stewart?
Victoria Vasquez,
No.
David Walkenstein,
No.
Kara Callan Watts,
Yes.
Jack Baker,
Yes.
Harley Buzzard,
Yes.
Joe Byrd, Julia Coates. 5 yes and 8 no.
Okay, the motion failed.
So now we vote on my resolution.
So we went down to 305.
No, we're gonna vote on this resolution to pass the
Oh,
resolution.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
passes.
Now we vote on passing the resolution
And send it to-
and send it to full council tonight.
I have one more question.
Yes.
The buildings are in ruins, I guess it's all falling apart. What time period was that building constructed? Does you know?
Would you be able to answer that?
No, I wouldn't. I'm sure there's a plaque on that brick building, has a date on it, but I can't tell you what
What,
it is.
the reason I ask, is there anything to say, or you should say?
Not that I'm aware of. The propane tank.
I can get back with you on that. Right now, I don't know right off, sir.
Could somebody look at that?
I will. I can tell you exactly when it was.
Yes.
Hey Bruce, that old schoolhouse over there's got a lot of history. Is that something that, we need to keep up for landmark or
Let's
it
go
can be
look,
something that's-
let us go look and see the condition before we give that report.
might be restored or something, or, I don't, there's just a lot of history there. I hate to tear that building down, how old it is.
Is it,
We had Molly Jarvis to look at it at one time,
Oh, did you?
and she didn't think there was enough there to repair.
Oh, really? Okay.
just a point of I don't think there's a roof anymore, and part of the walls have fell in, haven't they?
Yes.
Pretty well dilapidated.
Yeah.
That's all I have, Chairman. Thank you.
Well, we can take a look at it. Bruce, if you want to send somebody down?
We will.
Okay. Yes, Kara?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am not the expert at the table on this, but do we need to be sending folks out to make sure that the property's surveyed? I get, and I'm not familiar exactly where it's at. It's not coming to mind where it's at. Or like take pictures of what is left to preserve it that way, or those kind of things. And it's not clear to me that that's happening or will happen.
We can do that.
That will be done when we send it over in the package.
Okay, thank you.
So you'll take care of that, Bruce and
Yes, sir.
Ginger? And send us a little pictures of it or whatever.
You can do it before and after. Now it's gone.
Sure.
Yes.
If there is a plaque, that could be saved or something like that.
Right.
That's what I was referring to. Thank you.
We'd certainly do that, yes.
Now, we ready to move on down?
We're ready to vote. Call for the question.
Oh, I thought we were doing, okay, we'll call for this question. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Now we'll move on. Frankie, you want to take 305?
This is just a motion to bring the landfill board and director to the table for a discussion and an update.
Ocean Gadi, Gigi Eleni, Anita Lek, Today Stelis going, or to Heli, Ko E, Georgie Lacan. Go yo one Dina D, we go at D. Hello, everyone. We're glad to be here today to talk about the place where they throw old things away. And we're glad you're here listening to us because you're the folks that help our Cherokee people. That's basically what I said. The report that we just passed out, I'm sorry it didn't get to you earlier. We got an invitation to come like last Tuesday or Wednesday. So, no, I guess at that point that the whole report that Jamie prepares for the Environmental Protection Commission. That commission is what is the ruling body that permits our landfill. So we provide them a monthly report. It's done through Tom's office, Environmental Protection Program. And I know Councilwoman Hargis gets it, Councilwoman Kara Helen Watts gets it, and maybe some others. But certainly, if the entire council would like to receive this report, that's not a problem. We come before you today at your request. Hopefully we can answer your questions. We have been there as a new board and new manager for approximately 2 years and 5 months. In those 2 years, if you want, I have a list of improvements that we have accomplished. Some of you have visited the landfill, and we welcome that for anyone and know that there were improvements done. We work at it every day. It is a landfill and things happen at a landfill every day. So we kind of have to be on our toes every day. We certainly don't want to desecrate that land any more than it has been already. It means a lot to me, for those of you that forgot my speech I gave you 2 years ago or so, because I own property on Killer Mountain. My family lives and we have our allotted lands on Killer Mountain. So it's our backyard. Certainly it's your decisions to make, along with the administration, about the landfill, but it is where we are today. We're working hard to keep it as safe and environmentally positive as we can.
Yes, Kara.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say thank you for coming forward and helping bring such detailed information. Councilwoman Hargis, is there anything that we need to be more aware of or be thinking about? I appreciate you bringing them forward too.
I would like to ask, how full is our current cell? How much room do we have left? And, you know, what the cost to open a new one? Just, let's bring that forward.
Before Jamie answers with maybe a little more detail, let me tell you, and we'll be honest with whatever questions y'all have. We've been hunting and pecking for quite some time. When the previous CEO and the administration of the tribe left, they didn't leave us much room. As you all are aware, there's a lawsuit out there against previous people that were running the landfill. And boy, the Attorney General's office could get on the ball. Is he here?
You tell me what I need to do.
And get some of that lawsuit taken care of and give us that money. Man, that would help. You know? By the way, y'all lost your audience since the last time I went through. Thank you, Todd. We've been hunting and picking. We do need more space, more airspace. That does take dollars. We've gotten quotes for 3 different types of cells. And we're in discussions with the administration as to what direction we need to go. We don't make a move without the administration knowing, because it's trust land, as Ginger can tell you. And we can't make a move without the tribe. It is the tribes. You want more details than that?
What is the current cell? How much room do we have, and how many contracts do you have?
Contracts, we've got Delaware County, we've got the city of Lincoln, Arkansas, we got the city of Tahlequah, we got half of Cherokee County. We got Sue's Recycling,
Stillwell,
city of Stillwell, city of Westville, Watts, and then various independent haulers. There's other trash out there for me to get, but until we develop new airspace, we don't need to fill it up faster than we, it's gonna take a little bit to, construct. So we gotta kind of keep our ducks in a row and not get too hasty. But there is more trash out there. We just need some more airspace.
Okay, your current airspace, how long is that gonna last you?
Oh, at our current volume, our current airspace, we could probably go to December.
So we need to make a decision.
Yes.
How long does it take to make a new cell or whatever?
Like Fan said, there's some different directions that, depending on what kind of direction they tell us to go. One of those would be just west of Cell 3, which in my opinion would be the best way to go. It's probably going to take us about 2 months, because the ground is already pretty much constructed. There's very little work, not a lot of work to get done in that area, and it's a small, it'd be a small acreage, but a lot of depth to tie onto Cell 3 and part of 4.
And how much time would that give you in the future?
That would give us 900,000 cubic yards. And it kind of all depends on which the best thing it'll do is it'll put us back on the flat ground instead of kind of on slopes, filling spots. Because your best compaction is going to come with your compactors on top, not on the side. So if we could get 1,500 pounds per cubic yard, and then if we stayed at the current volume that we are now, that 900,000 cubic yards, I haven't run the exact numbers on this scenario because we were just working on this last week. But that airspace should last us probably about 6 years.
Do you have any idea of what the cost of that would be?
No, that's just 4. I'm sorry.
Do you have any idea of the cost to create that?
Yeah, it's right now it's at 1.4, which I have to say is when we took over the landfill, we have a it's called a depletion cost on what was spent to create. I do know by looking at the previous cell that was constructed, Cell 4, back in 2009, there was a tremendous amount of money spent on that cell.
It was a 7-acre cell.
And that 7 acres gave them 900,000 cubic yards of airspace. We're doing a 4.5 acre cell, and it's going to give us, excuse me, 900,000 cubic yards of airspace. Because of where it's at, the location, it's almost right in the middle of the whole area. So we've got a lot of vertical elevation. And our depletion costs will be down 200%. I mean, it's phenomenal what it's going to do for us in our depletion cost, because we're not going to have to spend but maybe less than 1/3 of the cost for the same amount of airspace that was spent.
It'll cost $9.2 million. That's a lot of money for a cell.
Anybody have any
What
questions?
year was it we built the
2009.
2009?
That's when it was open. I think it was under construction in '08 and '09.
And we're getting all this just from research that we did when we came on board to see where we were.
And I appreciate all that y'all have done, and I apologize I haven't made it out the last couple of months, just conflict of schedules, but I know y'all are very attentive to what you're doing.
Yes, time.
Okay, so we can build a cell for 1.4 million.
Correct.
And it will have a 6-year life. Now,
On current, yeah, depending on how much daily tonnage comes in, yes.
Now, we will, correct me if I'm wrong, what Jamie is saying is, we're getting about 200 tons a day now. When we get a new cell, we can bring in a little more tonnage. We're hoping an additional 200 tons a day. So that would bring it up to 400 tons a day. So that's gonna fill up that space a little faster.
And I'm sorry.
ask, do you have a business study that will show that 400 tons, the tipping fee will equal your cost or less than your cost of building the cell and operating it?
Yeah, business plans showing what our depletion, our depreciation, our operational cost. Yeah, yeah, don't have that.
Are you gonna make any money? Are you gonna break even? Or are you still gonna lose money?
Well, our goal is to break even.
Well, I know that's all of our goals to achieve, but will it achieve it?
Yeah,
Because we've not been financially solvent in this endeavor, I suppose, from day one.
I can explain to you the biggest problem you have right now. I don't know what's wrong with my voice. I apologize. Is the depletion cost is almost $11 a ton before you add in anything. That's why I was speaking to the, I don't know, the $9.5 million that was spent for 900,000 cubic yards of airspace. That's almost $11 a ton on just depletion. That's not depreciation. That's not operations. That's not your, you know, there's a lot. You're in a hole before you can even get started. So if you can look at what our new depletion would be versus our old one, like $1.10, $1.20 a ton versus almost $11 a ton. So it's going to be a whole lot easier to break even going forward with that depletion dropping that much, because we're just not going to have to spend as much to develop a cell as was spent in the past. Because, you know, I know that the last cell that they did, there was a lot of rock. There's, you know, a lot of that was taken out. We won't have to do all that this time. You know, it's going to be a lot easier.
But Jamie, when will you have your business plan? Will you have it by budget time, which will be end of this month? Because what I foresee coming here is you need an extra $1.4 million put into your budget. That's over and above your current operating costs to build you another cell.
Correct.
And whether we like it or not, the other alternative is we start the closure process.
Correct.
You know, this has been coming for a number of years. It's either closure over a period of, is it 15 or 20 years?
30.
Okay, you got a closure
No.
process.
A lot of people will say closure is, according to federal regulations, 30 years. This is trust land, folks. The tribe is gonna be responsible for it for life. For life. It's not just a matter of the federal regulation.
But it comes to a point whether you want to have closure, which you will maintain, and you will continue to have cost associated with that, or whether you want to build another cell and kick the can down the road some more. Because I'm still failing, and I'm going off, guys. 4 days I'm off, but here's what I leave you with. This can's been kicked down the road for years. At some point, you've got to make a decision, because you're not making money on trash, because trash right now is very competitive, and apparently our expense of getting into the sales is a lot more than maybe somebody else's expense. We can't go back and revisit what happened in 2009. We probably could, but I don't believe in going back. I believe in going forward. And it is what it is, and you're left with what you're left with.
That's true.
But I would think you guys need to see a business plan. Here's my expenses, here's the cost of the new sale, here's what my tipping fee's gonna be, and here's what the competition's tipping fee is.
Right.
Now, can I break even? Can I make money, or am I gonna continue to lose money? And if I will continue to lose money, no one loses a job, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, because the closure process is a long, continuous situation. So the jobs are still gonna have to be there, but it's whether you wanna just create and kick this can down the road some more, or you wanna bite the bullet here. That's where you're at.
First of all,
It's serving these communities, but I'm telling you, it's serving these communities because you are cheaper than your competition. But if you're cheaper than your competition, you're still losing money, it's not helping the tribe.
first of all, there won't be as many employees out there. You won't need as many.
With the new sale or with closure?
With
Okay.
closure. Second of all, and I know you said you don't want to go back in time, but that was never the dump as it was until 1994, from 82 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
It was just a small
It was
area to take your trash. It was local trash.
Yes.
And then
It
we
was
tried
never
to do something
developed
bigger.
as a business, a money-making venture. It was always a community service. And we do know, without any studies or anything, and I think Councilwoman Hargis will agree with me, if that landfill goes away, we'll have all those wildcat dumps and more that we had in our poorest county in the state of Oklahoma.
What's our budget now, yearly? With our leases, with our leasing of the equipment, and trying to meet our obligations as Tom gives us direction on
We'll have to
environmental.
get back with you on that annual budget. We just prepared that stuff and
Last year's budget was, $750.
if, as a guess, I would say 600,000. That's with, and it's not a lease of the equipment, we had to purchase it. The board borrowed money to purchase that
But
equipment.
the loan payments figured in your budget?
Yes, yes. All the operational costs, all the salaries and benefits, everything that we have to have to operate.
At our current tonnage, we're not recouping anywhere near our budget right now, are we?
We're bringing in about $70,000 to $75,000 a month right now. And and it's taken, because of the depletion, our depletion is $45,000 a month on the average, 40 to 45,000 every month. So that's like I spoke to a while ago, that's tough to overcome. But there's nothing I can do when it's there before me. So, you know, when that's going to go from 40 to 45,000 down to about $3,500, now that's going to help tremendously going forward, and then adding some more tonnage. But I can definitely, to speak to your statement earlier, I can definitely get you a budget on time. I just have to prepare it, and yes, I can definitely show.
Have you not been asked to turn a budget in by the executive?
No.
So your budget has not been figured into the budget that's going to be submitted to this body on the 31st of August?
Not that we know
Or
of.
15th, I guess. I'm sorry, 15th of August. Okay.
There has not been a process told to us. We've just been going and.
Now, I'm not going to say that C and B is not going to do that and turn just based off what's actual, and then just, you know, turn something in like that. I do not know, but to my knowledge, I don't know.
But it wouldn't come from.
We have more, any more, yes, Mr. Lay.
Mr. Chairman, and the equipment that y'all got, what, a year ago or whenever?
Yeah.
a year and a half ago, was it leased or purchased?
Purchased.
We were told it was leased at one time. It's purchased.
We've always said it was purchased. I don't know who would have said it was leased.
It was purchased.
We had to sign our names as a board to borrow that money.
So the board signed the signature of the note. How much was that?
One
It's a-
point 5 million.
And so has it been paid down, I guess?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Half of it, a third of it?
Not near half.
No, closer to a third.
Was it a 10-year note?
No, it's either a 5 or a 6-year note.
And when do you intend to replace that equipment? It's gonna be
Well, when we bought
overall
it,
to replace it.
yeah, when we bought the equipment, we bought everything with the extended warranty on the likelihood that it would last a little beyond our payment schedule. Yeah.
We're thinking about 7 years.
And so the extended warranty will take care of repairs up to 7 years?
Take care of major repairs, yes. Once it goes out to over so many hours or so many years, you know, they don't do your bumper to bumper, if you will. It's drivetrain motor.
So how old is this note, 2 years?
It's approaching 2 years, yes.
So in 3, maybe 4 years, we're gonna have to either buy new equipment or hope that this warranty carries you through another year or two.
Yeah, and it's kind of like anything, sir. You know, it's when there's dozers, you know, there's equipment, there's a trackhoe out there that's been there for 15 years that was being used when I got there. So, you know, if we maintain it right, we do all of our service right, we keep our air filters, because it's a very rough, tough environment on equipment. But I mean, our guys, and we're staying on top of all that. So, you know, we're hoping we get some extra life out of it for just simply taking care of it. But you just never know. But yeah, probably 4 years, 5 years max.
When you signed the note, did somebody guarantee it behind CMB or Tribe?
No.
Who's that with?
That is with Welch State Bank.
And so nobody's ever asked you guys to get your business plan together or to get
To
a balance sheet together?
To tell you the truth, we've had so many challenges out there from day one. It's been horrendous.
Well,
And we're just-
I understand the challenges.
And even our budget is a
Well,
challenge.
I mean, Wells State Bank didn't ask for a balance sheet,
They asked for financials.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
so you had one there,
Yes.
but you don't have one today.
Not with us, but,
No, not with us.
So you come to the council getting ready to ask us for money.
no, we didn't come here to ask for money. We came here at your request
Okay.
For a
to
But
answer
you're
questions.
getting ready to ask us for funding, to open a new area to dump trash.
No, we didn't
No.
come here for that. We're in discussions with the administration to see what direction we all want to go.
Sure. I get you. Thank you.
Councilman Lori?
I think the question is, what do we do in December? When you run out of sales space, what's our plan? Is our plan to start closure, or is our plan to build a new cell? And if our plan is to build a new cell, better start that October, I guess. You gotta have it started by October to meet Jamie's, you thought
Absolutely.
about 2 months.
Yes.
I mean, where
And-
where you really got behind the 8 ball is in '09, there's a cell built for 9.2 million, that apparently we can get a comparable sale now for 1.4 million.
Well,
Well, I can-
1.4 will be for a 4 acre.
Well, but it will hold 900,000
Yeah.
cubic
I'll tell you,
yards,
the-
which is the same as what the one in '09 was built for, the whole 9. And I understand it. I've been out there and know it goes up and down, and you're building on the flat part, so you're digging down. They built in, but probably built on the upper part, which I've never understood why the landfill is on top of a mountain. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but that didn't make any sense where it went. I guess it was convenient land at the time.
Yes.
But I think what y'all are left with as a body is, in the end, it comes back to us. I mean, try as we might to, because we have tried to basically segregate them over to themselves. CMB really didn't want you as a business because there
Liability.
apparently couldn't be money made.
Okay.
But we put it on CMB. It was the nation, then it went to CMB, then when it comes from CMB, it doesn't really come back to the nation, it kind of comes over here by itself. And we've been trying to prop you up, and you asked some very legitimate questions, Dick, that I was gonna ask is, there's a life to this equipment. And the life always seems to be, it's like a car. You make the last payment, the wheels fall off. I don't know why that happens, but it's like, man, those manufacturers can anticipate the life of a piece of machinery. And then you have to buy again. And I remember, I think I called it a lease because I think initially when you all were talking about the equipment, it was gonna be a lease purchase at one time. And I don't remember where we got off. Welch gave a more advantageous, Welch Bank, I think.
I think it had something to do with the trust land. I think it had,
I don't know about trust land because I think your equipment stands for the loan. It
Yes.
doesn't, it's not on the land, I mean, the land is not standing for the loan, it's the equipment.
right.
My question was gonna be, you're digging deeper. I wonder if you have to have new type of equipment to compact a vertical hole that is much, much deeper than, you gotta get down in there. So I'm wondering if that's not gonna cause us to have some new equipment. And my
No.
question on your business plan was, have we factored in replacement equipment, or have we factored in the possibility that there might be new equipment needed? I think the answer could very well be no. You ought to be able to build a road down into the cell, then compact it, maybe with the same compactor, and then as it comes up, your road's just,
Follows.
yeah.
Yeah.
I-
It's
I-
kind of like I call it the shoebox, you know, you just kind of plant yourself, and as you go, you prepare for your slopes, and you prepare for your roads, your wet weather days, your, all that you keep, you know, conscious of, because those things will happen. But there'll be no more digging. We don't have to dig down any further. We're already at the bottom where we need to be. All we need to do is clean it up, straighten it up, which we have the equipment on hand to do now, which will save us a lot of money that we don't have to pay a contractor to come and do.
And Fan, I really understand what you're saying, that the Wildcat dumps could very possibly come back. But whether we can spend $1 million or $2 million yearly forever to prop it up, being the good neighbor, we take all the trash, we take all the problems with the landfill, or whether we need to go to a green box, carry it somewhere else to another landfill that's more competitive than us. I don't know what that answer is. I know that we should have addressed it 8 years ago. We should have addressed it 4 years ago, and now it's right back here to be addressed again.
That's absolutely right.
And we're in a deal where it seems like it washes downstream, which has always been a concern. I mean, we've been very fortunate because y'all are watching, Tom, and all of you all are watching so hard on keeping that level of liquid down to a point where it's not becoming a a problem for the environment, but boy, it's close. I mean, looking at this report, you can tell, isn't it 7 inches that we need to stay below 7?
Today it was at 9, and the freeboard should be at 24. Yeah.
And this has been an unusual year. We got 3 years of real dry, so it was easier to control, and now we're catching up. We've made it all
If
up.
there was any rain coming to Adair County, it fell at the landfill every cotton piece
Well, ain't no
time.
kidding.
I think it fell over hovered over the hayfields too at the same time.
But I don't know if this will ease your mind, but Tom can address this further, or maybe he already has, but his office takes samples of that water, and you can tell them what your sampling what the results have been. It's really not that bad of water. Not saying that we're not watching it and we're not going to do what we can, because by regulations we have to. But it's only high in what pH?
pH is high.
Anything else, Tom?
Dissolved solids.
Well, I see what's on the horizon. Budget.
I would say to please not look at it just because you're council people from other areas, that it's not in your backyard. So I don't want it, I don't like it. This country, that's why we're hurting in the trash like we are today. Everyone thinks that way. I don't want it in my backyard. Well, we can't send it to space yet. So what do we do with it? Just need to take a close look at it because it's there.
Do we have any more questions for Fan? Yes.
I have a comment. I am going off council, but I've always appreciated your frankness, blunt, telling it right up front, like the way it is. I really think you do a great job.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Because you don't beat around the bush, you just get up there and tell us the way it is, and here it is, and then y'all can decide what you're gonna do about it, and I appreciate that.
If I did otherwise, I'm to the age where I forget a lot of stuff, and I would have forgot what I said, so I better just tell it like I think it is.
You've done a
Thank
good
you very
job,
much.
thank you.
Councilor Watson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to reiterate too, from what I recall on the prior, almost all prior discussions and multiple people that, before even Tom, in terms of environmental, that whatever the decision of the council, that they would heavily understand the wildcat dumps on their decision about whether it should be closed or not, or how it proceeds going forward, period, because there's always the question of do we accept outside folks, inside folks. I mean, there's a lot of decisions around it. But we haven't talked about wildcat dumping in a long time because it hasn't been as big a problem from what I understand, and a lot of them were cleaned up by our environmental services group. And that problem lessened, I think, because of the landfill. So I hope that just leave that in your mind when you're making those decisions, that that's part of your decision making, not to see that happen again. I would just leave that, so I appreciate that comment, Fran. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Yes, Harley?
Jamie, you mentioned a while ago, but how many employees do you have out there now?
7 full-time.
7 full-time? And you said a while ago that with this new sale that you could probably get by with less employees?
No. That's, Ben said that if we close it,
It's after closure.
we could get by with less employees. No, we can't get by with less
So
employees.
you've gotta have 7 employees.
Yeah, we're hamstrung now. 'Cause
Jamie has cut to the bare bone.
If you could see, and I don't have that, our other board member, Sean, went back and done a study. We have cut we've cut our operations down to where it's dead at the bottom. But it shows. I just wished I'd have brought that, but I'll make sure you guys get it so you can see, because it's very impressive. I mean, really. over what we've been able to do by working together and getting that budget down as much as we have. We just don't spend on it unless we absolutely have to.
Well, I can see, you know, that we're in a catch-22 here. If we close it down or even slow trash coming in here, then you're not gonna be making enough money to operate it.
Right.
If you go for closure, you're still gonna have to have some employees out there.
And spend millions of dollars in closure.
Yeah, so I don't think we wanna close it. I think you're looking 10 to 12 million just to close it.
Start.
So it's something that's a long-term, stuff we're gonna have to deal with.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about with the administration, you know, and what you guys have to look at. There's a couple of different targets to shoot at, couple of different goals. Does the tribe want to subsidize it at any? To where we close down, we throttle down the volume that we bring in to have it more as a service? To where the airspace that we do have lasts for a long time, and that's just the way it is? Like, you know, or do we throttle open that valve a little bit and bring just enough trash in to where we can I believe that we can break even when we have everything like our depletion cost and everything for the best that we can. You know, I believe we can do that. Because I'm getting calls right now for people wanting to come to our landfill, but I can't let them come in right now because it'll feel that, you know, I won't have enough time to generate a new cell.
Can you do 2 scenarios like that, Jamie?
Sure.
Say what it would cost us just to keep it open and just take individual trash versus cities, yeah. You know, you're not gonna make any money, you know, by taking individual trash, but at least you won't have to be paying the 10 or 12 million to close it.
And the airspace
Just
will
keep
be
it open.
for a long
The
time.
airspace would last a lot longer.
Yes.
Yeah,
I sure can.
if you can do a scenario and say that, you know, we could run it for 20 years if we
Right.
just do what airspace we've got.
Yep.
And let us look at that and see.
And I believe the council needs to take a look at the politics that you're in. Any of those scenarios are gonna come back to you.
Yeah, and I agree, you know, that's a Cherokee Nation landfill, and it's not that, you know, one in our backyard, it's something that we have to deal with on the council, so, yeah, I think we all should to take stock in it and try
Sure.
to do our best to make it go, so. Anyway, if you could work those scenarios,
I sure can.
see what goes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
I just wanted to make a comment that, this doesn't just affect Adair County. It affects Delaware, Cherokee, Sequoia. It affects all of us, so when you're thinking about this, think about that.
And added to that, Councilwoman Hargis, the at-large people we have in Arkansas that use that facility. It affects a lot of people, a lot of Cherokees.
You finished?
And I just want to say I'm sorry for not bringing what you thought we were going to bring, but I was just told last week that it was just for some information only. I didn't have no idea we were going to get into this. I apologize for not being prepared. It won't happen again.
Well, we'll give you a little longer notice next time.
That'd be nice.
Frankie will do it. Frankie, take care of that.
We appreciate y'all coming.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys
and
very much.
we will talk this over and see what we can come up with.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Moving on down to, moving on down to number 3 item. And that is, Janelle Fulbright.
Okay, thank you. Let me add that I asked to amend the agenda to add on here so I could finish up my last item of business. And this is a resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Information Technology Department to donate surplus office equipment to Moffett Police Department in Sequoia County. And I move that we approve this, so.
Second motion.
And move it on to council tonight so that they won't have to wait another month because they've got it ready.
Second motion.
Motion.
Motion and second, then any discussion? Anybody? Question? Yes, Jack?
Just a correction in the title, information. It's just,
Is that a friendly amendment?
yes, well.
It's
just
typographical
correct.
error.
She don't spell the way I do it, Chewy.
I know.
Would you learn how to spell that word?
Any more questions? All in favor of this motion?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And we'll do it again tonight.
Thank you, everyone.
Moving on down to announcements. Next meeting is September 14th at 3 o'clock. Any more announcements?
I've got an announcement.
Yes.
If anybody would like to buy some beads like this, I bought these from Tommy Wildcat's mother, and she's making them for the holiday, and I just love them, so. That's all.
Now, you owe a commission on that.
That's pretty good ones. And they play beads. They look like pearls.
Do I hear
Motion
a
to adjourn.
motion to adjourn?
They're pretty.
All in favor?
I like them.
All opposed?
JB.
Well,